The internet didn't just blink last night, it gasped. One post. One clip. One reckless flex that detonated timelines and split the culture clean in half. What was supposed to be another loud, chest-out moment turned into a slow-motion collapse that nobody could look away from. Because when NBA Youngboy logged on, he didn't rant. He didn't threaten. He didn't explain. He exposed, and the silence that followed was louder than any diss record ever dropped. Screenshots began circulating before dawn. Deleted stories were resurrected. Comment sections froze mid-scroll. Fans swear there was a private message that slipped out by accident, then vanished. Others say a screen recording caught a reaction that was never meant to be public. All anyone knows for sure is that someone who had been talking reckless online suddenly went very, very quiet, and the timing was no coincidence. Industry insiders started whispering that this wasn't random. This wasn't clout-chasing chaos. This was chess. A calculated moment where confidence met receipts, and the receipts won. Twitter turned into a courtroom. TikTok turned into a crime scene of stitched reactions, slowed clips, and wide-eyed creators saying the same thing over and over. Nah, this just changed everything. What really sent shockwaves wasn't what was said, it was who stopped talking afterward. No response. No denial. No spin. Just a digital vacuum where noise used to be. And when fans noticed that silence, they knew something had gone terribly wrong. Because in this game, when the internet goes quiet all at once, it usually means someone just lost the narrative, and the fallout was only beginning. The moment the first clip surfaced, everything shifted from internet noise to something far heavier. It didn't start with yelling or threats. It started with timing. NBA Youngboy's name lit up timelines at the exact same moment an OTF affiliate had been running his mouth for hours, posting cryptic captions, location tags, and emojis that fans instantly decoded as disrespect. At first, it looked like the usual online posturing that fans had seen 1,000 times before. But then the energy flipped. Youngboy didn't respond publicly. He didn't tweet. He didn't post a story. Instead, according to multiple insiders, he watched. Quietly. Closely. And that silence was the first warning sign something was coming. What people didn't realize was that behind the scenes, screenshots were already circulating. Messages allegedly sent from burner accounts. A short voice note that wasn't meant to leave a private chat. A DM that simply read, "You sure about that?" before disappearing. Fans noticed the shift immediately. The OTF member who had been loud just minutes earlier suddenly stopped posting. His live cut off mid-sentence. Comments were turned off. And that's when the internet leaned forward, because everyone knows that kind of silence never comes without pressure. Insiders began whispering that Youngboy had caught wind of something sloppy. A location posted too confidently. A flex that wasn't as secure as it looked. And instead of reacting emotionally, he let the moment expose itself. Within minutes, a clip began spreading that showed the same OTF affiliate looking visibly shaken, pacing, phone pressed to his ear, whispering instead of shouting. Fans replayed it frame by frame, convinced they heard him say, "Nah, I didn't know he was watching." That one line alone sent shockwaves across social media. Twitter turned into a battlefield of theories. Some said Youngboy had people nearby. Others said it was psychological pressure, the kind that doesn't require proximity, just reputation. TikTok creators went live claiming they had inside info that the situation escalated fast behind closed doors. One viral video alleged that Youngboy had sent proof that he knew exactly where the OTF member was, not as a threat, but as a message. The caption read, "This isn't about violence. This is about being exposed." That distinction mattered, because the fear wasn't about what would happen next, but about what had already been revealed. Then came the leaked audio. Short. Grainy. Hard to authenticate, but explosive. A voice believed to be connected to the OTF side said, "I didn't think he'd see it that quick. He ain't dumb." That clip spread like wildfire before it was taken down, but by then it was too late. Reaction videos flooded every platform. Fans debated whether this was another chapter in a long-running rivalry or something more personal, more calculated. The narrative shifted from bravado to vulnerability in real time. Celebrity reactions poured gasoline on the fire. Rappers who usually stayed neutral started posting vague messages about moving smart and knowing when to log off. One well-known producer tweeted, then deleted, "Internet games turn real when egos collide." Fans took that as confirmation that this situation was being discussed in industry group chats, not just comment sections. Meanwhile, Youngboy's camp remained completely silent, which only amplified the tension. Every minute without a response felt intentional, like a countdown nobody could see. As the night went on, the OTF affiliate resurfaced briefly, posting a single black screen with white text, "You'll don't know the whole story." No explanation. No denial. Just that sentence. Fans immediately interpreted it as damage control. Screenshots of his earlier posts were reposted side by side with that message, highlighting contradictions and deleted captions. The internet smelled blood, and once that happens, there's no putting it back. What made the situation even more explosive was the sudden appearance of alleged insider leaks. A supposed associate claimed in a now-deleted thread that this wasn't the first time the OTF side had underestimated Youngboy's awareness. According to them, he pays attention to everything, especially disrespect disguised as jokes. Another leak claimed the moment wasn't planned, but once Youngboy realized the opening, he let the other side walk right into embarrassment without lifting a finger publicly. Fans began to realize this wasn't about a physical confrontation. It was about control. Narrative control. Image control. The idea that someone could be loud online and then instantly humbled without a single public word from the other side shook people. Memes started circulating showing Youngboy as a chess player and his opponent knocking over checkers. Funny on the surface, but rooted in something serious, the power of silence when backed by credibility. By morning, the story had grown beyond the original posts. Blogs picked it up. Reaction channels dissected timelines down to the second. Every repost added another layer of tension. And just when it seemed like things might cool off, a new screenshot appeared, allegedly showing the OTF affiliate asking someone, "How do I fix this?" That one question reframed everything. Because it suggested this wasn't mutual beef. It was one-sided confidence meeting unexpected consequences. And right as fans thought the exposure was complete, another rumor began circulating, one far more unsettling. Multiple accounts claimed that what had leaked so far was only surface level, and that there was one more piece of proof being held back deliberately. Something that would explain why the confidence evaporated so quickly. Something that would make the silence make sense. And as that rumor spread, one thing became clear: whatever NBA Youngboy had seen or known, it wasn't public yet, and when it dropped, it was going to change the entire story. By the time the sun came up, the energy had shifted from shock to obsession. What started as a few posts and an eerie silence had turned into a full-blown digital manhunt for answers. Fans weren't just watching anymore, they were investigating. Timelines were reconstructed. Deleted stories were recovered. Screen recordings that shouldn't exist somehow resurfaced. And in the middle of all of it sat one uncomfortable truth people couldn't ignore anymore: the OTF member didn't just get embarrassed, he got outplayed. Behind the scenes, alleged insider messages began leaking that painted a much darker, more calculated picture. According to one source claiming proximity to the situation, NBA Youngboy didn't react impulsively at all. He allegedly received a screen recording from someone who saw the posts the moment they went up. The location tag. The caption. The timing. Everything lined up too perfectly. And instead of responding with threats or bravado, Youngboy reportedly sent one message to a trusted associate that simply said, "Let him keep talking." Timestamps. Street names. A screenshot of a post that had already been deleted. The message underneath read, "You sure this where you wanna play?" The response was delayed. That delay said more than any insult ever could. Social media exploded again when a short clip surfaced showing the OTF member abruptly leaving a location he had just claimed to be posted at all night. The video wasn't dramatic. No chaos. Just hurried movement, keys jingling, a car door slamming. Fans slowed it down, zoomed in, argued over reflections in windows and background sounds. Was someone calling him? Was he being warned? Or had the reality of the situation finally hit him all at once? Meanwhile, NBA Youngboy remained completely absent online. No posts. No reactions. No vague captions. That silence became the loudest thing in the room. Hip-hop commentators started pointing it out, saying this was classic Youngboy behavior. He doesn't argue publicly. He lets people expose themselves. One viral tweet summed it up perfectly: the scariest response isn't a threat. It's nothing at all. That tweet alone got tens of thousands of likes within hours. Celebrity reactions quietly added fuel to the fire. A Chicago artist posted a cryptic message about knowing when to log out before the internet logs you out. A Baton Rouge affiliate reposted it with no caption. Fans connected the dots instantly. Another rapper went live and said, "You'll gotta stop thinking this is just entertainment. Some people really be watching." He refused to name names, but everyone knew exactly who he was talking about. Then the meltdown happened. Not public at first, but leaked. An audio clip began circulating, allegedly of the OTF member venting to someone he trusted. His voice sounded strained, frustrated, nothing like the bravado from earlier posts. He said, "I ain't even mean it like that. They twisting it." That line flipped the narrative again. Because now it wasn't about standing on business. It was about walking things back. And the internet never forgets when confidence turns into clarification. Fans split into camps instantly. One side mocked him mercilessly, turning the situation into memes and edits. The other side tried to defend him, claiming the internet blew it out of proportion. But even the defenders couldn't explain the sudden disappearance, the deleted posts, the nervous energy. The receipts were too clear. The contrast was too sharp. Something real had happened behind the scenes, and everyone could feel it. As the pressure mounted, a so-called insider dropped what they claimed was the missing piece. According to them, the reason things escalated so quickly was because Youngboy had proof that the OTF affiliate wasn't just talking, he was exaggerating his surroundings. The location wasn't secure. The flex wasn't current. And once that was exposed privately, the entire performance collapsed. The insider wrote, "It's easy to talk loud when you think nobody can check you." That post went viral before being deleted, which only made people believe it more. Late that night, the OTF member finally broke his silence publicly. Not with aggression, but with defensiveness. He posted a video saying people were reaching and that the internet don't know what's really going on. He never mentioned Youngboy by name. He never denied anything directly. And that omission was deafening. Fans replayed the video again and again, noting how he avoided specifics, how his eyes never stayed on the camera for long. Then, just when it seemed like the situation had peaked, one last leak appeared. A screenshot allegedly showing a message sent to the OTF member from someone warning him hours earlier, "Don't post that. He's gonna see it." The timestamp matched perfectly. If it was real, it meant this entire situation could have been avoided. And that made the fallout even worse. Because now it wasn't just about being caught lacking. It was about ignoring advice and paying the price in public humiliation. By the end of the night, the narrative was locked in. NBA Youngboy hadn't raised his voice. He hadn't posted a threat. He hadn't acknowledged anything directly. And yet, the damage was done. The other side looked shaken. The internet had chosen its story. And the scariest part was what fans started whispering next. If this was what happened without Youngboy saying a word, what would happen if he finally did? As those whispers grew louder, a new rumor began spreading like wildfire. Supposedly, there was one more piece of evidence. Something that explained why the OTF member folded so fast. Something being held back intentionally. And if it surfaced, it wouldn't just embarrass him. It would force a response that nobody was ready for. By the next morning, the rumor had evolved into something heavier than gossip. It wasn't just something else exists anymore. People were naming it. Screenshots began circulating of a blurred file title, supposedly sitting in a private folder shared between two people who absolutely should not have been connected. The file name alone sent shockwaves through the timeline because it suggested proof, not talk, not interpretation, not trolling. Proof. Fans immediately split again. Some said it was fake, an attention grab, a clout trap designed to keep the story alive. Others pointed out the timing was too precise to be random. The leak surfaced only after the OTF members' energy collapsed. Only after the deleted posts. Only after the defensive video. Only after the silence from Youngboy stretched long enough to feel intentional. That pattern was hard to ignore. Then something subtle but chilling happened. Accounts known for being close to NBA Youngboy's circle began liking tweets they had no reason to interact with. No captions. No reposts. Just likes. And the tweets they liked weren't jokes. They weren't memes. They were posts asking one question over and over again: why did he really stop? That quiet engagement poured gasoline on the fire. Because in this world, likes are language. A well-known hip-hop blogger went live later that day and said they had been contacted by 2 different sources with the same warning. Don't rush this. Don't misreport it. If you don't know exactly what you're talking about, stay quiet. The blogger looked visibly shaken while saying it, pausing mid-sentence more than once. Viewers noticed. The comments exploded. People spammed the chat asking if it involved law enforcement, street politics, or something even messier. The blogger refused to clarify, only repeating, "This isn't a joke situation." At the same time, the OTF members' digital footprint began to vanish piece by piece. Old tweets disappeared. Highlighted stories were wiped. Even comment replies under unrelated posts were suddenly gone. Fans started archiving everything in real time, afraid the entire timeline would be erased if they blinked. One viral thread documented the deletions minute by minute, turning the act of scrubbing into evidence itself. Because people don't erase confidence. They erase regret. Then came the alleged breakdown. Not filmed, not posted, but described by someone claiming to be in the room. According to them, the OTF member realized too late that what he thought was a performance had crossed into a permanent record. He wasn't just being clowned anymore. He was being studied. Every move. Every word. Every contradiction. The source claimed he kept repeating one sentence: "I didn't think he'd take it like that." That line alone shifted the narrative again. Because it suggested Youngboy did react, just not in a way the public could see. Around dusk, a new twist hit. A short, low-quality clip surfaced showing a car parked outside a familiar Baton Rouge location. The video didn't show faces. It didn't show confrontation. It showed waiting. The caption read, "This was never internet." Within minutes, the clip was gone. But not before thousands saved it. People compared the location to earlier posts. Street signs matched. Background sounds matched. The implication was clear, even if nothing explicit was shown. Whatever happened, it wasn't loud. It was deliberate. Celebrity reactions grew sharper. One rapper tweeted, "Internet games end when real life starts." Another replied, "That's why silence is louder than dissent." Fans took screenshots, connected dots, built theories that felt uncomfortably coherent. You didn't need confirmation anymore. The mood had changed. This wasn't funny. This wasn't content. But it wasn't over. Because late that night, just as people thought the story had reached its end, a new notification hit. A respected journalist in the culture tweeted that they had been sent material they were not prepared to publish yet. That sentence froze the internet. Journalists don't say that lightly. Especially not ones known for accuracy. Especially not without context. Especially not in a situation already this volatile. Fans waited. Refreshing. Speculating. Panicking. The OTF member went completely offline. No stories. No likes. No activity. Total blackout. Meanwhile, NBA Youngboy remained exactly where he had been the entire time. Silent. Unbothered. Untouched by the chaos swirling around his name. That contrast became the final image burned into everyone's mind. One side scrambling. The other was unmoved. By sunrise, the conclusion was unavoidable. Whatever the missing piece was, it didn't need to drop to do damage. The fear of it was enough. The possibility of it was enough. The way behavior changed around it was enough. In this game, sometimes the threat isn't what's released. It's what's held back. And that's where the story stands now. With unanswered questions. With deleted evidence. With one side hoping nothing else surfaces. And with the other side having said absolutely nothing at all. Because the most dangerous position in this entire situation isn't being talked about. It's being watched. Before you scroll, before you click away, understand this: stories like this don't just fade out. They evolve. And the people who miss the early moments always end up confused when the truth finally hits. If you felt your chest tighten at any point during this breakdown, that's because you already know something bigger is still coming. Silence like this never lasts, and when it breaks fast. This is the exact moment where staying tapped in matters. The screenshots you didn't save, the clips you didn't see, the reactions you missed, those are the details people regret ignoring when the next chapter drops and everyone starts asking, how did we not see this coming? You don't want to be catching up after the fact while everyone else already knows what really went down. Hit that like button right now if you felt the shift in energy. That tells the algorithm this story isn't done and keeps these updates alive. Drop a comment with your theory, because the comments are where patterns get exposed and dots get connected faster than anywhere else. And most importantly, subscribe with notifications on, because when the next piece surfaces, whether it's a message, a clip, or a confirmation nobody expected, it won't wait for anyone. This channel doesn't rewind the tape after the truth comes out. We're here while it's happening. If you leave now, you're choosing to hear about it later. And in situations like this, later is already too late.